Hello, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Today is our meditation Sunday. Oops, and I just realized that we have the wrong banner up. It's Inspiration Tuesday, and the color is actually yellow for Inspiration Tuesday. Okay. So happy that we have this StreamYard tool that we can really, play around with the colors and the banners. And I know that for some of you, it's a little bit difficult to get used to the new schedule. We used to do this at 9:30 in the morning, and now we're doing it at 6 p.m. And again, I'm saying 6 p.m. Israel time, and the reason why we're doing this at 6 p.m. is because we want to be global. We want to reach everyone who is around the world, any purpose driven entrepreneurs. Last week we had a summit for Jewish women entrepreneurs all around the world. And tonight we're having our Inspiration Tuesday, which is happening every Tuesday from now on at 6 p.m. And I would love for you to tell me if you're live, if you're with me, where you come from, what's your name. Please type in your name in the chat and tell me also where you're from. And if this is the first time that you're joining us in the Born to Do Business Global community, because this is who we are now. We want to be on a global level. And today, in terms of inspiration, I wanted to share with you what I had learned from the summit that we organized last week. We had over 350 women from all over the world who registered to listen to 14 interviews. It was an amazing experience. We got so much feedback and so many people that were really inspired and empowered by this summit. But there is what you see, if you were at the summit, and please type in if you did participate at the summit. Tell me if you liked the interviews, which one was your favorite, which day were you on? Maybe you weren't on every day, which is fine because it was a lot of interviews to watch. And I would love for you to type in, even if you come in after the live, you come in and you watch the replay and you tell me this is the interview that I loved the most and this is what I got from it, because I actually wanted to share with you what was my takeaway from this summit. And it's like I said, there are the things that everyone saw. Everyone saw me smiling, and everyone saw me being really, I hope, on top of things and being really, available for the speakers that I was interviewing. And that was exactly everything went exactly as I had imagined, and everything was really perfect on that sense. But there was the conversation, the internal conversation that I want to bring you in now that I had between me and myself. And tell me in the chat if this is something that happens to you too, that you seem to be really in control and you seem to be really everyone is like, oh wow, this was amazing. And between you and yourself, you have this other voice that is talking to you, and this other voice that is actually saying things that you're used to, but saying it differently. And so today in our Inspiration Tuesday, because we are in a community and because we are allowed and it's okay to be vulnerable and to say things the way we feel them and the way we went through them, I want to share with you in all my authenticity and being very vulnerable how I went through those 3 days of summit between me and myself, and what was the conversation that was happening inside myself. And this conversation was not always a conversation that was, a conversation of a winner, I would say. It was a conversation with a lot of questions, actually. And you might be surprised because and the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because we always see other people succeeding at doing things, and we see the top of the iceberg, and we're like, oh, it seems so easy for them or for her. And look at, she's doing it, like a walk in the park, right? And what I want you to know, and I know it on myself, and I know it on observing other leaders and successful people, that whatever you see from the outside is a different story that is happening inside. And so I want to share with you what was the internal conversation, because I'm sure that you have this conversation, and I want you to be reassured, if that is helping, that you're not the only one having this conversation, and that everyone at every level can have that conversation. And so actually at every level we have the same conversation at a different level, right? I always say that we are on the spiral, and that whatever uh, spot you're on the spiral, you're always revisiting the same theme but at a different level. And so my questions were the following, and I know that you've heard me speak about the niche, right? Speaking about who do you speak to, who are your target market, who's your ideal client, who are you here to serve? And I've always been a very, very big defender of you need to pick a niche. You need to know who you're talking to. But I think I've hidden behind the fact that I'm talking to purpose driven entrepreneurs, right? This is my target market. And that this was a niche that was, small enough, I guess, to be able to say, yes, I'm talking to purpose driven entrepreneurs. And that was good, good enough for, the need to have a niche. But when the summit came, and this was really, I would say a download, but I don't know who's listening to us and who's going to think I'm crazy. But those of you who know me already, you already know that I'm crazy that way. And those who don't, well, this is me. I believe in downloads. I believe in messages that we get. I believe in intuition. I believe in all of a sudden something becomes so clear that you just have to do it. And this is exactly what happened for the summit. The summit was really a download. It was really something that I just saw and I said, this is the exact right timing that I need to be doing this. But what happens with the downloads is that sometimes you don't realize the full spectrum of it. And sometimes you just have to surrender and you just have to say, okay, this is what you want me to do. I will do it, because you know that this is something that's bigger than you. You get the message from the universe. You can call it from God. You can call it from inspiration. Everyone is using their different words. But for the summit, I really surrendered. The timing was crazy, meaning the timing was amazing. The momentum was amazing. But the timing that we had, we did everything in 2 weeks, me and my team, which I thank again if I haven't thanked them enough. And everything was like boom, boom, boom. The date, the people to speak to, all the doors were opening. But inside of me, I knew that I was surrendering to something bigger than me, to something that was telling me to go out there in a bigger way. And I would love for you to type in the chat if this is something that happens to you sometimes, where you get an intuition, you just go with it. You don't really know where it's going to take you, but you decide to go with it anyway. And is everyone listening? I'm hearing a noise. I'm hoping that you can hear me. If you can hear me well, just type in the chat. Thank you very much. And if not, I hope that I will see it in the replay if there are noise on the line. And so the calling I was going to say, but yeah, the download that I got was Jewish women entrepreneurs, Jewish women entrepreneurs. But there was a lot of fear around that, because for those of you who know me, I'm a business coach, I'm a strategist, I'm a mentor, and I help people that are not Jewish, and I work with people that are not women. And I don't only work with Jewish women. I work with men and I work with non-Jewish people. And I actually don't really like that. How do you say, that exclusion of, working, no. So if there's a non-Jewish man, I actually have right now a client. And if you're listening, Samuel, I'm hoping you're listening, but I have a client who is not Jewish and who is a man. And so I felt like, so what is this trying to tell me? I always had this long-term dream or goal or vision that I would, that my book that I'm writing, for those of you who know me, you also know I'm writing a book, that the book that I'm writing would be for Jewish women. And I had this conversation with the author coach that I'm working with, Libby, if you're listening to us. And I asked Libby and I said, I feel like I want to write this book only for Jewish women. And she questioned that. She said, why only Jewish women? Isn't that a universal message? And I did, ask myself, is it something that I want to share with everyone? It is something I want to share with everyone, but I know that it's more particularly, specifically directed to Jewish women. And so for me, this was something in the future. Sometimes, I'll send, my book will come out. It will be for Jewish women. I want to go on speaking tours and I want to talk to Jewish women because I have my own story of how I went from being ultra Orthodox to not being religious. And, I have my own personal story as a woman in this Jewish identity, in this Jewish religion, and belonging to that people and that religion, that I felt I really wanted to share. But I thought it was for another time, after in the long term. And the universe had other plans for me. That's what I'm here to say. So the intuition I got was, it's not in the long term, it's now. And then I looked at my calendar and I said, why not? Why not do what I want to do in the long term? Why not do it now? Why not? Why postpone? Why speak to Jewish women when my book is out? Why speak to Jewish women when I could go out and do my speaking tour? Why not speak to them right now? Because this is who I want to speak to. And then the summit just became clear. And I remember when I had to write, global online leadership summit for Jewish women entrepreneur, I looked at it and I was like shocked. I was like, ooh, I'm doing this only for Jewish women. Now, I don't know if you realize that it's not only, making your niche more specific or smaller, which is a fear in itself, but it was also the stigma attached to talking to only Jewish women. I want to be global. I want to be universal. I want to be international. I want to be successful on the international level. I don't want to be just for Jewish women. But I want to tell you that the reward that I felt by doing what was aligned with what I really wanted to do, and the success that this summit was, and the feedback that everyone came, together and said, this is exactly what we needed. This is, we needed to be connected to other Jewish women, made me decide not only to embrace this niche and to really claim it and to say it out loud, not just because I was surrendering, but because it was exactly what I wanted to do, but made me also create that global online business network only for Jewish women. And the hardest thing I had to do, and if you're here listening, I know some of you are in the group, was to write to the few men that were in the networking group that we had, and to tell them, to explain to them that I had to go with my intuition and that I was choosing to do this networking only for Jewish women. And some of them replied and said, amazing. Some of them did not reply. So I don't know what they thought. Maybe they felt excluded. Maybe they felt it was not fair that, we had this networking group and that I had to ask them, I was evolving towards a very specific networking group. And maybe they were judging me. And that's what I had to face. I had to face that fear of being judged and maybe being misunderstood, or maybe people are not going to agree with me and they're going to say, you're not supposed to do things only for Jewish women. You're supposed to be open to everyone, and you're supposed to serve everyone. You're supposed to help everyone. And I'm saying this because I know that many of you have a lot of gifts. You're purpose driven, you're gifted, you want to help, you want to serve. And when we want to serve, usually our tendency is to go with the most people. I want to help everyone, right? People tell me when they come working with me, right? They say, but I can help everyone. I can help women. I can help men. I can help Jews, non-Jews. I can help young, older. I can help entrepreneurs and not entrepreneurs. People they think that the more they can help, the better it is, because they're going to do more good in the world. And then we have to work on that mindset shift, which I did work on myself every time at a different level. But I wanted to share this last time, because working on the mindset shift is saying it's not about how many people you can serve. It's how well you can serve a small amount of people, because it's better to be able to serve 98% of a very small group than to be able to serve 10% of a very large group. So if you can help everyone, then how are you going to be different from your competition? Or why are you special? Or why would people come work with you? And I know it's scary, and I used to know it at every level when I made choices, but now I know it's scary in my gut. I felt it. I felt the fear. I felt this decision that was really something that was difficult for me to make. And once I did it, the fear went away and I only had the reward. only the reward of the alignment, of the authenticity, of being true to myself, being true to my vision, being true to who I want to be, who I want to serve, who I really want to serve, being honest with myself. That's what I'm inviting you to do. And this is why it's called Inspiration Tuesday. I'm inviting you to take a very strong look inside yourself and to ask yourself, who is it that I really want to serve? Not who I can serve, not who, why not, or yes, of course I can, right? I can do this, I can do that. Not what you can do, what you really want to do, what is really aligned, and not because you want to serve more people, but because you want to serve better and you want to serve exactly the people that are going to feel so grateful that you're helping them and that you're serving them. And so this is my message after the summit. This is what happened to me during the 3 days. It was a lot of questioning and a lot of uh, internal debate and dilemmas between me and myself on my positioning, on how I was seen, on how I was viewed. And like I said, even if in the outside it looks like you have it all figured out, in the inside there's always another level of questioning, another level of fears, another level of what if it's not the right thing, what if I'm making a mistake. And so I want to tell you there are two things, the good news and the bad news. The bad news is that it never goes away because the fears are always there. And like we say, new level, new devil, right? You're always going to have another fear at another level. But the good news is that those fears are exactly where you need to go if you want to grow. And this is showing you actually the way forward. It's showing you the next step. This is your direction, your arrow towards your growth and your next level. So just follow the fear. That's what you need to do. That's what I did. And I'm very glad I did because the summit was a real success. And I became, I grew out of this experience and I became much more clear on what I want and who I want to serve. And things in my business now are really, the strategy is so clear. It's so easy to see the steps because I listened to this gut feeling, this intuition, and I implemented it and I surrendered to this intuition. So I hope that this was inspiring. I didn't see many messages, so I hope you're going to type in when you see it in the replay. If this is resonating or if you feel that this is helping, I would love for you to type in the chat, yes, me, thank you, heart, smile, whatever you want, because it is lonely here to speak by myself. But I did share from all my heart, and I hope that this is going to go from my heart to yours. And so I wish you a great day, great end of the day or beginning of the day, depending where you are, because now we're talking global. And I want to tell you that tomorrow we'll have Networking Wednesday, where you'll be able to connect with people. You'll be able to actually exchange with people and see how you can help each other in the group. And in the evening, we'll have our global online business network, which is happening. We have women from all over the world, from Europe, from the States, from South Africa, from Israel, of course, and Jewish women from all over the world getting together to network. And this is going to happen every month. We're going to have this global online business network every month with more activities that I'll share with you as they come along. So thank you so much for being here. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow for Networking Wednesday. And we'll have interview Thursday with a guest speaker that is a surprise that we announce tomorrow. So stay tuned. And thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for being part of this global community of purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And I will see you very soon. Bye for now.